first of all, oh my goodness, congratulations. How are you feeling now that the news is out there in the world?
Relieved, happy, excited to not have to keep the secret anymore. Just over the moon to be able to share our joy with others.
Yeah. Who was the hardest person to keep the secret from?
Oh my gosh. I think my grandma and Chelsea.
Dad, how are you feeling?
I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in my life. So I feel incredibly blessed.
How are you physically feeling? Like what's going on in the body? What's happening?
Yes, well, I was definitely super sick at first, but I am feeling really good and healthy and happy now. So yes, I'm feeling all better. Just a little tired, but I think that's probably to be expected.
It's a lot of work growing a human.
It sure is. Yes, I think I have definitely gained a lot of respect for mothers and just my own mother and, you know, what she went through. And so.
Me too.
How is this chapter so far making you guys stronger together?
Yeah, I think that the level of intimacy between us has gotten deeper, like having really, really deep conversations about how we want to raise our child and, you know, what we kind of want to shield them from and what we don't want to shield them from. And just having those deep conversations has even led to discussions even more so around our own childhood. So when you think about, you know, raising a human together, you almost get to know your partner in a deeper way. So
with that being said, what kind of parents do you both want to be?
I think just really unconditionally loving our child is like a very important number one thing that we're absolutely going to do.
I think even just us making the conscious decision to have a baby, because we planned this. This wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate decision, and that was kind of that was a big moment for us. And I feel like after we made that decision, it was, I felt so much more connected to Bliss. And I already was incredibly connected to Bliss, but it was just a tightening and a deepening of our connection. And then the moment when she told me that the baby was actually here, or, you know, it was surreal. It was this surreal moment, and I was so elated.
Did you know right away? Like, did you have that mother's instinct where you're like, this might be happening? Like, what was that process like, and when you found out?
Yeah, we were actually at dinner with my friend, and I was just feeling like a little bit off, and I decided to have a mocktail instead of a cocktail over dinner, just because I was feeling a little weird, like slight nauseous and a little bit of aversion to things. And so I think I kind of had a little bit of a feeling, but it was definitely still like very shocking. Like I took the test while Zack was still sleeping because I wanted to surprise him. And it was still a very shocking moment, and very happy, kind of surreal thing, but definitely had that inkling for sure.
The moment you took the test and you saw the result, what was that like?
I just was shocked. I just remember like looking at myself in the mirror and like my hand was over my mouth and I was like gasping, and tears definitely came to my eyes. It was the best, one of the best moments ever in my life. And you have all of these crazy different competing emotions that are happening at the same time. You know, you obviously want it to work out. Then I was like, I can't wait to tell Zack, and like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like there's a human on the way. And it was just a lot of really crazy, beautiful feelings.
Dad, at first, how confused were you?
Very confused. Very confused. So her story to surprise me was that her mother had sent me a cake,
which she does
for
often.
Her birthday. Okay, sounds a little weird, but it's something that Kit would do. So I'm thinking, okay. So I open the cake and it says, "I love you, Dad." And I'm like,
I don't want to read this.
You read it. I don't know why your mom is calling me Dad. That's weird.
So then once that happened, what were your emotions? Talk me through just that moment in time.
I'm realizing, oh my gosh, this is real. We really have a baby on the way. This is, because up to that point, it was just a dream, right? You know, just something that we had dreamed. And then now it's real. And that realization and how our entire world is about to change. And because it's a long process. And honestly, it's really scary. And then every time when you're trying, if it doesn't happen, you're sitting there and you're just like, oh my gosh. So then when we were so lucky.
Yeah, I feel like we were really blessed on our journey. It wasn't a very long journey to the pregnancy, but yeah, he definitely was teary-eyed, and it was really sweet. And just, there was like a shock, there's almost a moment too where it's your brain can't comprehend it.
Right, what's happening?
Yeah, then you see the ultrasound and you're like, okay, there really is a little human in there.
Oh my gosh, those appointments, Zack, for you, seeing the baby, the ultrasound, all of that. What was it like for you, Zack?
The most special thing is just when we were able to know that the baby was healthy. And that is, one of the things that's just so scary. And so I think when we see the baby moving and its heart beating, there's just a sense of relief.
And like the first time you saw it move, you were like, my gosh.
Yeah, because as you see it get bigger, it's And the first time I felt it kick, that was something completely unreal.
Oh, Bliss, for you, experiencing it for the first time, that first kick, like as your body's changing, all of it, what is that like for you?
It's very bizarre, and it's beautiful at the same time, but it can be very alien feeling. You literally feel like there's a little alien and something like moving that's not you. But it's really special. I found myself talking to the baby more as I've felt it moving, and it's just the most wild thing.
And it's the first Love is Blind official baby. To think of that, and to think of how your love story began and everything that you guys have gone through, and then now to have a baby on the other side of this. Thinking back on the journey, what comes to mind?
I think our story is such a special one because it can show that things can go wrong and then things can go really, really right. And that's the truth of life sometimes. So, that's my thought on it too.
Yeah, I think the message that I would have for people is life comes in waves, and sometimes you can be at your darkest moment right before you reach your brightest moment.
Like, our love story is so beautiful, and I wouldn't change one thing about it. And I'm just grateful. I think we're just grateful. And it was always just meant to be me and Zack. It was always just meant to be that way.
Who was your first call in the Love is Blind family?
So Chelsea and Kwame actually were the first people that we told we sat in the Love is Blind family from the cast. And we have a really great reaction video from them. It was Halloween and we were all hanging out and we gave them a chocolate. And in the chocolate we wrote, "Baby Goytowski, so excited to meet Auntie Chelsea and Uncle Kwame." And Kwame, we hand it to Kwame, he opens it and reads it. He's kind of confused at first, and then you can see it clicks, and they're like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness. That's so cool too. Because Bliss, you have said that you would want to raise your kids together.
Yeah, we talk about that still all the time. Even before she knew that we were having a baby, I was like, let's just get a mansion and just raise our kids together, and we'll let Zack and Kwame come. That wasn't in the original plan. We'll allow it. We
keep saying the baby. Are you going to find out the gender?
Next month, we're going to do a little gender reveal. So we don't even know if it's a girl yet. That's why it's so easy to say they or the baby.
Right.
The only person who knows in the world is her brother.
My twin brother. He's the keeper of the secret. He's known for a while, the gender. And so he's planning the party and everything.
Have you started planning the nursery, or are you going to wait?
The only thing we have in the nursery is this cute little stuffed animal fox that Zack's sister gave us. So that's the only thing.
Have any names come to you yet?
We do have a name picked out. We're not sharing it, but we do have at least a good idea on a first name.
Yeah.
Is it a gender neutral name?
Yeah, we consider it a gender neutral name. It'll be interesting to see how everyone else takes it. But we decided even before we actually started trying to have the baby that we wanted to name it that. I think once we find out the gender, we'll start thinking about middle names and stuff more. Unless it's born and then we look at it and we're like, that name does not match that child, then we're in trouble. But
when is your due date? How far along are you?
So we're not sharing the exact due date,
Okay.
but it's going to be in spring of 2024. So coming up.
What are you doing to prep?
Doing a lot of reading, and a lot of my friends have just recently given birth or had babies. So relying on a lot of like real world advice too.
Oh.
Yeah, Bliss and I have been doing deep dives into parenting stuff. We just had our first conversation with a doula, which I had no idea what a doula was until we met with the doula. And I'm like, this is great. We definitely need to get a doula.
Yeah. Now you're a doula expert.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. But I'm definitely someone who thinks it's a good idea to get one. So we're definitely on a process. And we're going to be kind of documenting our journey with as we learn more about the process of parenting and raising a child.
I wanted to go back to the show and being kind of a time capsule of your love story. Is there a particular moment that you are really looking forward to showing your child one day?
I think our proposal was so special and so different than anything that's ever been on the show thus far. And to be able to he or she is going to be able to see us together. And I think that's just going to be a really special moment. And then our wedding, I think the wedding is going to be a magical thing.
I think if I could show something to the baby, and we haven't ever recorded anything like this, but if I could show something to the baby.
From the show?
No, not
the
just
show.
In
general.
Yeah, it's what you've been through in the last.
Ooh, we don't want to. I used the camera over and I was being.
But for me,
get away.
For me, what Bliss has gone through, it is so inspiring. Her strength, and I want my child to know how much her mother or his mother has sacrificed. And so, yeah, if I could show our child anything, it would be that, how strong their mother is.
It's very sweet, baby.
What's your reaction hearing that?
I mean, I just continue to be grateful for who he is as a person. He's a very emotionally intelligent person that's always truly honors me and cares for me. And I just feel very safe with him. And I just know that our child is so lucky to have him as a dad. He's just a good man, and I just feel really lucky.
Love is Blind is obviously such a huge hit, but we have not had a spinoff series yet. Could we see a spinoff of your growing family? Would you want the cameras around during this chapter?
Who knows what the future holds? We've talked about how much we want our baby. We're still going to figure out how much we want our baby exposed, to social media and all of that. So we don't really have an answer to that part yet.
Would you ever want them to do a show like Love is Blind?
I would absolutely encourage them to. I think that it's important to take risks in life and be brave and do things like Zack always says, it's do things that scare you, So yeah, why not? I think we're going to be supporting of our child no matter what they want to do. With their life. If they want to go on a show, if they don't want to, it's totally fine. It'll be interesting to see what they think of all of this once they can comprehend it.
Yeah, we're both on the same page about that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Zack, you had the biggest smile on your face that entire time she was answering.
I think that's it. The one message that I think if you saw our season, the song that my mom dedicated to me, I Hope You Dance, ended up kind of being the theme of our season. And the message of that story is to don't sit it out. Don't play it safe. Get out there and dance. And so, yeah, I think we'd both encourage our baby to go out there and
do it all
and dance.
This baby is in great hands. I'm so happy for you, and congratulations on this incredible blessing. And please keep us posted along the way.